Hello and welcome into the Boise State Esports Twitch page. I am Michael Fisher, and we have some exciting League of Legends action in store for you tonight. Boise State wrapping up the UCI Best Coast Tournament tonight, taking on Illinois in their final regular season game. The Broncos, of course, coming off a win last week against Michigan State, bumping their record to 1-4, being matched by the Illini at 1-4 as well. So two very even teams about to hit Summoner's Rift here in a few minutes. I will not be alone, however. I am going to be joined by Elisa Jolly Malhas once again for a fantastic cast. Jolly, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm excellent as usual. I'm stoked we're running off a high of that last win, and this last game is going to be a banger.
Yeah, it should be very exciting to see how these teams are going to lay out. I know the Illini had a couple of late substitutions that kind of maybe messed with how things are going to go and who's going to play certain roles. So going to be very interesting to see how their roster fleshes out in the draft and what they want to go with. And Boise State, of course, not just winning the last game, they've actually won 2 in a row, beating Dixie State in a show match last week. So the Broncos looking to go to 3 straight victories in League of Legends and this UCI Best Coast Tournament off on a high note, finishing at 2-4. But there's plenty of more action in front of us, as you can see here. Here are the standings. Texas standing all alone at 5-0. Stony Brook at 4-1. Bethany Lutheran and Western University at 3-2. Boise State and Illinois looking to break that tie for second and third to the bottom there at both 1-4. And then Michigan State, the Spartans, down at 1-5. So Boise State hopefully going to move to 2-4, solidify a nice 5th place finish there for the Broncos. So we'll have to see. It is, of course, a best of 3. So just because the Broncos lose the first one, not all hope is lost, as we saw against Michigan State. The Broncos with a nice little reverse sweep here, as we do see the lineups for Boise State. Nothing too unusual. Red Hots, Aqua, Ascent, Goblin, and Dean. And then you see for Illinois, just chilling, Mistletoe, Sylvana Crestel, the Bosch, and then I believe Carbon, actually a late substitute out for a different player. So going to be interesting to see how the Illini want to set things up here. Of course, for Boise State, no substitutes there, and I think this roster, Jolly, coming together now, and I think they're definitely showing that they're going to be a force to be reckoned with as we go later and later on in the season.
And I don't want to say it's about time, but it's about time for us Broncos to get back to winning. We're so incredibly used to it, especially with this League of Legends team. Now that we got the flow of things, I'm excited to see how this final game of the UCI Best Coast Tournament pans out. And it looks like Illinois is going to start things off not with the Rumble that we are used to, but with a Bard ban.
Yeah, that's at least one step closer to maybe Ascent getting on that Rumble, as the Aurelia and Morgana banned away there by Boise State. We'll see if the Rumble can survive the next wave of bans. Of course, Ascent, one of his favorite champions, something that we've been told he's very good at, and nearly flashed up for a second there, but the Olaf take it away. Illinois, maybe pun intended, playing with some fire, waiting this long to ban Rumble. We'll see if they put it on in the 3rd ban.
I would love to see some stellar equalizers. I've yet to see Ascent play the Rumble. It's been the first ban every single one of these games that I've had the opportunity to cast. Boise State's going to round things out with the Talia, which is a big favorite for the jungle here. Mistletoe in the previous seasons, definitely a first pick, and the Ivern as the final pick. But Boise State's not going to start things out with the Rumble. They're going to lock in the Vigar.
Yeah, I think everyone was probably expecting as soon as that Rumble wasn't banned, that'd be the fastest Rumble lock we've ever seen. But no, as you mentioned, the Vigar being picked up for Boise State here. Then it looks like the Taric Master Yi, a comp that has made splashes at all sorts of elos. A lot of people complaining about that, where the Taric kind of just supports the Master Yi. We'll see if the Illini want to pull that one out. But I'm just still shocked that Rumble made it through, and we haven't seen a Rumble yet. I was waiting for it, and it's almost like it was stolen away from me as Lulu's picked up there for Boise State.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna wait for the final pick. They have to lock in this Rumble, because everything that I've heard, oh my gosh, they're gonna end up locking in the Twitch here, so not a high priority on that Rumble anymore. The Vagar now we can assume is going in that mid lane anyway, where Ascent resides. But a Lulu and Twitch bot lane is very fierce right now, that's for sure. And Ashen is going to be the final lock-in for the first round of picks here from Illinois.
Now, I guess the Illini may be feeling confident they had a Rumble counter. Of course, Boise State, we do see the Singed ban coming out there from the Illini, something very interesting. Boise State has played that Twitch and Lulu in other roles as well. I remember a game where it was actually Red Hots on the top Lulu and then Aqua on the jungle Twitch. So Boise State definitely flexing some of those flex picks. We'll see where exactly they go. But right now, these bans for Illinois all over the place. You see the Senna taken away by Boise State. Definitely a very powerful AD carry, something that you're probably going to see a lot of in the LCS and Worlds. So Boise State can make sure that one's not on the table. And then Echo, the final ban, I guess targeting down Not quite sure who, with the Vigar and maybe a jungle on the table, where that Echo ban was going.
Yeah, I mean, Echo is definitely a big flex pick, especially in like a diamond elo. You can see him in really one of 3 lanes, mid, top, or jungle there. But the Zillion is going to be the final ban out as well. Another powerful one, and it does look like a lot of really quick engage is something that Illinois wants to go through with here, and Zillion would certainly help with that. A Wukong is going to be the selection for jungle, though, for Illinois here. And we'll see what Boise State has to respond with, as this is a really aggressive team so far that Illinois is going with.
Yeah, definitely some interesting laning potential here for Illinois. Maybe even like a mid-lane Wukong, something we haven't seen. And then Boise State going full in on the Enchantresses. Karma and Yumi being picked up there. They're going to make sure that that Twitch has more than enough shield. And then the Draven final pick for Illinois. So Boise State definitely going all in on supporting what I would have to assume is Aqua in the jungle. Right? And then you look on the side of the Illini, they just want to all in on somebody and let that Taric do work with the ultimate. So it's going to be a very interesting first game here in the Broncos' final game in the UCI Best Coast Tournament. Before we get in, though, it is Doc's keys to the game for League of Legends. Good mid-jungle synergy. Place her some objectives, value over time, and never take a fair fight. All brought to you by Count, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables personalized customer experiences for more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. Thanks to their award-winning AI, it analyzes 32 billion annual interactions to personalize your user experience. You want to make sure you check them out. Count.com. As you can see on screen there, that is KOUNT.com. And now that we have the draft done, it's not just going to be Fish and Jolly. We're also going to have Baratel making his appearance today here. It is a full squad, even if we're not on the desk here. Baratel, the voice of the people here tonight, joining us.
I'm the voice of the people, and what an honor to be as such. Now, I do want to just quickly point out something. Guys, Illinois had banned away, and they spelled out bully. The most targeted ban you could have ever had in the history of existence. They actually spell out Boise there. Bard, Olaf, Ivern, Singe, Echo. Boom, Boise's eliminated. Now, on the other side of things, the Aurelia, Morg, Talia, Senna, Zillion, that's a little bit more of a probably comfort pick here from the Boise State team. Now, the rest of the squad, and this is something that just question marks everywhere, Stabobos everywhere in chat, Ivern being banned. People were talking about that and a little bit of question. Both of these teams have sort of one highlighted and almost pillared player. You have the Yi on Illinois. You have the Twitch here on Boise State. Both of these teams really trying to escalate and raise the bar for that opportunity for that one particular champion to shine. But when it comes down to it, I got to give it to Boise State. You got more Yordles on that team, so therefore you are a stronger team overall, because Yordles are kind of busted.
I mean, this is why we have you, Baratel, to point out that those bands spelled Boise, because I was just like, Singe, Ivor, what is going on? So thank you, Baratel, for pointing that out. And I will have to say, you're talking about Yordles. Isn't there a certain Yordle he likes to be in a mechanical suit that we should have probably seen?
Maybe. I'm surprised it didn't happen.
In the jungle, maybe?
He is a pretty important Rumble. He is like a scrapper or something. I don't know what he does. He has fire, some sort of move. What I do want to mention, though, and this is something that has kind of plagued the history of solo queue and flex queue for the past couple months, this particular season, is this potential for Taric Yi funnel. Now, I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but there's always an opportunity for that, because in addition to the Taric and Yi being able to kind of 2v5 an enemy team, the Shen there to add an extra layer of support on top of that, it's going to be kind of dastardly. And they've kind of also made a failsafe for their team comp as well with the drafting of the Draven, because if Yi can't get those crucial resources, Draven with his passive will, of course, be able to kind of expedite his power spikes within his items. And then Wukong, of course, was only drafted for the fact that they had the Wuju-style power spike. They have Yi, they have Wukong, both members of the Wuju-style training club. And much like Cobra Kai or any sort of other maybe karate sort of kids sort of fighting style dojo, they're going to try and put their best foot forward to best honor their dojo.
Well, then I would have to say, Baratel, the one thing that I would think, and even to you, Jolly, is can't Boise State just build armor? Everybody build a Thornmail and just kind of laugh at the damage incoming, because there's no magic damage except for maybe some Taric Tickle coming out from Illinois. So can't you just go first item Thornmail and kind of just brute force your way to a victory?
Yeah, I want everyone on Boise State to build a thorn mill. Absolutely. First item, if at all possible. You know, it helps Twitch if he is in the jungle role, as we've seen Boise State do before. Helps him just beef up against those camps. He can just tank the camps. Doesn't even need to auto attack. Karma, you know, she's just the best champion ever. So as long as she has a thorn mill, she's awesome. Lulu, I bet if in all actuality, if Lulu were to get a thorn mill, she wouldn't be able to fit into it. She would be like, her head would barely be peeking out. You're like, oh, I'm in a thorn mill. Hello, guys.
Literally fit into the thorn mill.
Yeah, she literally couldn't get hit because her body.
Don't they make Yordle size thorn mail? I feel like
I don't know.
They probably
we gotta
make
ask
Yordle size
Boris.
thorn mail.
Boris is the shopkeeper, of course, and only he knows. They win because they have karma. Sorry, I'm reading the Twitch chat. Yes, absolutely. They pick the karma, so that means they automatically have my vote. That's my favorite champion in all of League of Legends. So if they don't win, it's lag or something. Something else happened. They got DDoSed. Something happened.
Does the initiation, though, that is on Illinois' team potentially scare you because of the lack of escapability that Boise State's draft has?
Oh, 100%. The fact that they only have two crucial points. They have Viger, who's immobile. They have Twitch, who's also immobile. Sans, how he can skirt around team fights in stealth. If Illinois is keeping track of those two carries, the only damage sources from Boise State, and they are able to capitalize on it with the stun from the Bastion, the Dazzle, the Shen taunt to follow up, and then the rest of the damage and knockup from Wukong Gi combo, there's no hope that Boise State has in order to win that team fight. But there's a caveat, because with this draft, I have no idea what any of these champions are going to build. Normally, their kind of build path is pretty clear cut, but when you only have two damage sources on the side of Boise State, you're going to want to try and do a little bit of cheeky adaptability. You might see a Luden's Echo on Karma. You might even see a Luden's Echo on Lulu. Or you might see the Machine Gun Lulu coming out, so that way they'll be the carry in the event that Twitch dies during the team fight. So everything's up in the air. Who really knows? I'm super excited to be here, and I'm super excited for it to be this game.
Well, we are getting closer and closer to game time as we got the voice of Twitch chat, Baratel's full breakdown. We have predictions for Machine Gun Lulu potentially being the carry, everyone being the carry that isn't supposed to be the carry with the Karma. Maybe Yumi's going to build a Rabadons at this point and just go full damage. Honestly, anything is possible at this point. And then, of course, in case you did miss the pick draft ban phase, Illinois spelling out Boise in the bans, that has to go a long way, as Baratel mentioned, banning out Boise so they automatically win game one. I don't know how Boise State claps back, though. Illinois is too long of a word. They've got to think of something for game two. Baratel, you got to get on that while we're in game one. How do you counter that ban in game two for Boise State? What do you spell out?
I think they did it. I'm tizzes, whatever that is the perfect response to the Boise ban. I don't know what it means, but...
Well, Baratel, we will see you after the game. Make sure you let everyone know what the voice of chat needs to say, because Baratel will bring it to us after the game as we head into game one between Illinois and Boise State, the very last regular season game of the UCI Best Coast tournament, as Baratel says his farewells. But don't worry, he'll be back, and maybe we're rooting for a three-game series just to see Baratel jolly. But I mean, that was a breakdown that probably was deserved, because we still have no idea what's going on. The Rumble not banned, it not being picked, and now we're finally into the game. It's going to be very, very interesting to see, as it looks like it's actually Lulu mid lane, not what I was expecting when we first started this game.
Yeah, I was certainly not expecting. I was thinking maybe, I mean, the Lulu top lane, or even, I mean, the Karma top lane definitely makes sense, but I don't know. I'm excited to see Goblin on this Veigar, that's for sure. And Ascent has been rocking most of these casters in general. So Boise State, this is usually when they pick things up, when they decide to go crazy. If they have the confidence to go through with a composition like this, I think they've got it in the bag.
And then, of course, it looks like there is a man waiting on what he did not know was a ward. The Bosch going to be cut out. They're going to be forced to flash away. He has the rest of the team coming. I don't know if Boise State knows. A three-man taunt going to land. Nihao going to jump in. Nice stun picked up there at level 1 by Veigar. And First Blood is going to go over to Aqua. Exhaust going to be blown. Yumi's going to jump onto Aqua, trying to get that shield. Yinha trying to get it one, but it's going to be a double kill. Red Hot's forced to flash over the wall. He will fall to Draven, though. Another flash. Yi going to alpha strike right in turret range. He's going to pick up one. barely walking away. The Tark's not going to land. Vigar not going to have any damage, but the Cage is going to pick up another one. A flash from Draven is yet another kill. 6 kills aside, and the minions haven't even reached the second tower. Make that 4 for Boise State. My goodness, that is a crazy start. I hope that's not indicative of the rest of the game, because that's 7 kills in a minute and 40 seconds.
What just happened? That was committal from both sides. Illinois instantly responding to the single catch out that Boise State managed to grab. We saw the taunt back in to return to the fight there from the Bosch. And it was a back and forth for sure, but Boise State coming out ahead with 1 additional kill and actually picking up the first blood, getting the double kill early on onto Aqua there on the Twitch. So that is a spectacular way to start things here for this team, considering they do need the early lead. And there's a lot of damage there here from Ascent, and Aqua, not quite a pick up on the kill, unless that Poison does it, but I do believe a pot was burned to keep that Tarek alive.
Tarek barely staying alive. Yeah, Boise State could not have hoped for a better start. 2 kills on Twitch, 2 kills onto Vigar. Their 2 carries, though. Illinois has to be happy as well. A kill onto Mastery and 2 onto Draven. So both of the damage dealers on both sides getting very, very fed here in this early game. We'll have to see how aggressive Aqua wants to play this. We just saw the level 2 gank on the Tarek. Nearly successful, and now you can see in the river there, looks like this might be a full-on dive up in the top lane with Lulu and Twitch heading up there. Does look like there's a ward there. We'll have to see if Den Hao, the new player, playing a 80 carry main in the top lane. We'll have to see if he finds on anything. As there it is, there's the gank. The stealth's going to come out. He's going to jump right on, but the nice karma shield from Red Hots means Aqua's going to have free reign here. Poison going to take him down, and Aqua picking up his 3rd kill of the game. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, some damage coming out onto Missile. He's going to run away. The Bosch threatening that taunt, but dropping very low. Going to get the shield from the passive. Goblin waiting for some cooldowns there. Nice job by Boise State just disengaging. There's the Cage, though. The Bosch could be stuck. Ward comes out. Boise State needs 1 more auto attack. Minion's not going to help, and the Illinois bottom lane just barely hanging on.
And that is going to be a recall for sure coming from the Bosch. No summoner spells for Illinois aside from the heal there on Mistletoe, who has been getting some really good... Oh no, the recall actually did not go through, and the Bosch is going to get hit with some damage here from both Goblin and Dean. That might force the recall. Either that or it's going to force Aqua down into this bottom lane, that's for sure. Lots of good poke, though, coming from Mistletoe. I do want to point that out on the Draven here so far, and that heal's still available.
It looks like that is going to be the backs for the bot lane for Illinois, as Aqua's still up there in the top side, getting that river scuttle. He is going to walk right into the mid lane now, making a full-on 2v2 level advantage to Boise State as the Toxin's going to land, trying to put some damage onto both members with the shield from Guardian. Going to do a long way, blocking a lot of that. Expunge just comes out. There's another heal. The tower is going to stop any Boise State damage, but great poke by Aqua and Ascent as both junglers sort of teaming up with a support mid laner and almost running it down, as you see in these games before anyone has Smite unlocked. 2 in the mid because nobody else can be jungling.
And speaking of the jungle, we do have Dragon coming up here relatively soon. Probably a good reason that Aqua is here helping Ascent, not just because it's a 2-2 in this mid lane here, but also to get some pressure down for that Dragon. We can see there's a little bit of vision there. That scuttle picked up by Illinois a bit earlier now. So a couple recalls coming through. You see the Vamp Scepter there coming through on the Draven. 2-0-2 though is what Goblin is sitting at on Vagar, so some pretty standard pickups across the board here. And there we got some info on Illinois as well, or Illini.
Yeah, the Illini Esports, the official organization competing at esports for the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. They were CLOL North Conference Finals in 2020, and GM Armando Gomez is with head coach Ian McCormick. So definitely a very tough program. Something that Boise State gets a win here would go a long way, as the Bosch maybe trying to set up something, but the tower going to stop any of that. Mistletoe doing a great job forcing Goblin and Dean to go back, not being able to do much more than farm. And as you mentioned, it is a Cloud Drake spawning taunt going to miss, though. Some poke going to come out there. Mistletoe going to catch his axe, just dodge the cage. Going to catch another one, trying to displace Goblin. Ton of damage coming up from this Draven. Unfortunately, Vigar not going to land a lot of those abilities, so Draven going to win that trade. But Dean should have the healing on the kitty cat there, so that's going to allow Boise State to remain nice and healthy going into any potential Dragon fight. As we do see, though, just chilling, coming around for a back gank here. This could be a full-on tower dive as the emotes come out. You see just chilling right above him, waiting for a Shen taunt, one would imagine. Here comes the tower dive. The cage is going to land, but it's not going to stun onto anyone. Shut down onto Mistletoe. Tower is going to take out the Bosch, though. Dean trying to do what he can. As the tower starting to shoot Mistletoe, he should be able to make it out alive. Boise State going to trade 1 for 1, but that is shutdown gold over to Mistletoe, and he'll get those kills for picking up, or extra gold for picking up some of his axes as well.
Some good pressure as well towards that bottom lane. We can see some pretty fierce vision coming from Illinois, and possibly just chilling after 1 for 1 successful, relatively successful game, because they did get that pressure down. We now see Aqua making their way up with Dean on lockdown there, trying to remove a little bit of this vision and place some of their own, but Illinois is not going to let Boise State engage on this dragon without a fight. We did see as well, just chilling very, very deep in Boise State's jungle and zero awareness of that, so that might require Boise State to lay down some defensive wards that they weren't expecting to do quite this early on. And now up in the top lane, we've got Dunhay hitting the ult.
The stun comes out, has to be flashed by Aqua. There's the wild growth by Ascent, keeping Aqua nice and healthy. The flash was blown. Now Tark's trying to run away. Heal used for the movement speed, but it might not matter. Goblin going to pick up 1. Boise State with the cage going to have 2. Perfect stuns there. Nice flash by Mistletoe to get away. He's going to blast cone away to safety as well, but Boise State going to pick up 2 kills in that fight. The Bosch forced to flash away as well. So great job by Boise State. This could be first Cloud Drake over to them.
Lots of summoner spells, lots of ultimates out, mostly from the side of Illinois on that one, falling quite a bit. The axe is going to be dropped, and so much damage going on to Mistletoe, but my goodness, these autos already coming from Mistletoe, and the ability to pick these autos up and not be snagged in that cage, or really even be hit by the Veigar Q is really impressive currently. So good to see Illinois playing fiercely down in this bottom lane. They're going to have to play a little bit more carefully, though, as Boise State seems to have hit level 6 a little bit early down towards that bot side.
And we do see Goblin going for the full damage build there with the electrocute. Usually you see Veigar's running with that glacial augment, allowing them to get slows or something like a Hextech GLP. The Super Circler allows you to land your stun just a little bit easier as well, but no, Goblin opting for the full damage. Of course, why wouldn't you when you have 3 other supports on your team? As we're going to have a meeting here in the river. Ascent going to walk into that. Yumi and Aqua going to try and do something here. Here comes Sylvan. He's going to get the immune ult onto the Master E. Here's the funnel. Can Aqua stay alive? It's going to fall off. Tower damage going to be reset there by the Alpha Strike, and just chilling going to pick up 1, a shutdown onto the E, but Boise State gets 2, but that 700 gold onto Master E is just what Illinois wanted.
And 2 more ultimates out as well on that engage. Great response by Boise State. An interesting selection to turn aggro onto Aqua for the entirety of that, as opposed to trying to focus down Ascent, who was much lower on that engage. And now Goblin potentially having a good snag here with the cage, but again, Mistletoe, whoa, there it is, the ultimate coming out from Goblin, and the flash to avoid the ult there from Mistletoe. Very good job there, and that's going to put 5-1-3 where Goblin is currently sitting, and that is a very scary Veigar. Boise State is definitely looking to push here, as we have, I don't think any plates have gone down yet so far in this game.
Yeah, nobody's gotten any plates, and you can see Boise State in the top lane not going to have an easy time getting plates, and against the Draven, not going to have the easiest time in the bot side as well. So Boise State, though, they'll take the 6-kill lead, gold lead, about 1.5k, as we see once again Aqua showing his face in the mid lane. And Boise State, as you mentioned, Jolly, they could not have asked for a better start. 11 kills, 5 on the Aqua, 5 on the Goblin. Those are the 2 damage dealers, but of course Illinois does have all of their kills on their own damage dealers in Master Yi and Draven, so it is going to be very interesting to see how these team fights play out here, if they can get this Master Yi funnel going, or if Draven can kind of become the funnel target, because right now both teams loving how the kill spreads have gone, as the junglers almost residing in the mid lane, just chilling, going to help push, maybe try and get one of those plates before they fall.
And there the pigs coming out from Aqua, trying to make the way down, but exceptional awareness there from Illinois, or possibly just good timing, as there was not a ward towards that top side. It does look like in front of the Shelly Pit just went down with the Scuttle Crab there, so possibly catching sight of Aqua. And it looks like Aqua and Ascent are now going to navigate down the river, but pings are coming out. Sylvan Kestrel there in the mid lane, recognizing that both of those members of Boise State are navigating, moving the way down. And now the pings to recalls. A little bit of the mind game occurs here with Aqua and Ascent.
Yeah, Sylvan going to get caught out there. The exhaust going to have to be used. The only thing that keeps that Tarek alive once again. barely holding on. Boise State now going to pick up their first place of the game. Second one in the mid lane. The Bosch going to use that Stand United, also helping keep Tarek alive, so he'll show up there. Stun not going to land, and you'll see Aqua basically has Dean on him the whole time. When Twitch stealths, the Yumi goes invisible as well, so it is almost a roaming two-man gank squad for Boise State, and then we see Red Hots up in the top lane. Basically just holding on there, down a little bit of farm, but against Wukong, that's sort of what you would expect by a Carbon. You can just see Goblin putting out insane damage. The Hextech GLP just barely misses the ult online, the Primordial Burst, but no flash to get in range, so Micheltane gonna barely hang on, probably forced it back, but you can see just chilling, coming down on that bot side, maybe trying to set something up.
Exceptional performance here from the high damage dealers on Boise State, getting everything that they want. And having Micheltane down here alone is certainly becoming difficult, as to be able to get close and ensure that he's catching those axes. He's going to be getting within range of Goblin and possibly locking himself in that cage. But Goblin actually gets into a precarious situation on his own, walks into what turns out to be 3 members there of Illinois, and goes down, losing a bounty in the process.
Yeah, that was a great job by Illinois. They had Just Chillin' and the Bosch come for what was attempted river gank, but Goblin trying to chase down Micheltane, baited almost all the way to that tier 2 tower, gonna get caught out. So that's now 2 shutdowns onto that Master Yi. He got one early on Aqua, now he has one on Goblin. So if there's gonna be a member for Illinois that they wanted to get all this gold, it's definitely the Master Yi. You can see the gold lead shrank down just to about 1.5k as some plates starting to fall all over the place. 1 in the top lane for Boise State, 3 in the mid lane as the Rift Herald should come out here and pick up first tower for the Broncos, but we might have a dragon fight coming out here as Ocean Drake has spawned. The boss gonna run right past Aqua. Is Boise State gonna try and jump onto him? It doesn't look like anything's gonna happen now as Shelly picks up the first tower. Now they'll put some chip damage onto Shen as he taunts away, and Boise State here might have a free dragon as we see Wukong, no teleport available. He's got to walk all the way down as Boise State opens up on their second dragon.
Just chillin', maybe committing to this recall. There it is. Boise State more than safe on this one, and a very quick dragon snag there as well. Still only about a 2k gold lead for Boise State though, so Illinois still doing a great job of re-engaging or initiating on some solid objectives here, trying to get a little bit of control over Boise State's movement, and very, very great vision and counter vision game on both of these team sides so far today. We'll see what Goblin can do again in a 1v1 here. He does not have the minion push and is going to have to recede a little bit in this lane, and now some movement down towards the bottom side. I do love the vision that has been placed, but the counter vision game has been so incredibly strong here that very little seems to have been placed overall.
Stun's going to miss, unfortunately. Micheltane doing a great job flashing away there. Ascent going to rotate down as well. There comes the Draven ult. Not going to land onto anything. I was going to say, Goblin, he was winning some of those 1v1s early, but you see Micheltane has now finished the Bloodthirster, so his damage going to spike up immediately. The Rage Blade finished on the Master Yi as well as his jungle item, and now we might have a full fight down here in the bot lane. Both teleports up for the top as well, and you can see they're both already being channeled here. Is anyone going to want to engage? Stun not going to land. There's the ult from Tarek. Can Boise State punish him down? Yes, they can. Only one member immune. It's Just Chilling. There's the Wild Growth onto Aqua. He is going to fall, though. One member down to side, Just Chilling. Now trying to find out. Goblin flashed away. Flash countered as well under the turret. We'll see if he's going to be able to reset it with the Alpha Strike. He will. Another kill picked up the end. How? And Boise State, unfortunately, going to get ace there. A triple kill. Make that a quadra kill onto the Master Yi. Excellent use of the Alpha Strike to reset the turret aggro. And then he goes down. He wasn't paying attention and he went down. That's 900 gold over to Karma. And Illinois throwing away what was almost an insanely good fight for them with Master Yi dying.
Still picking up the tower and the overall win on kills there. Micheltane on the backside that whole time. This composition really getting through to Boise State. There was a very deep dive and a pinch on that one, but under tower, Just Chillin', able to pressure the backside so that the remainder of Boise State there, I think it was maybe Red Hots or Ascent, on the backside, really just trying to run away from Micheltane as no damage was able to be dealt to that APC on the side of Illinois. Really good frontline engage here from these guys, and Boise State, while they still are up in kills, the towers now have evened out, and that gold is back down to less than a 2k differential here with a lot now of aggressive vision through from Illinois. It seems like a lot of these aggressive plays, these counter plays, and aggressive jungle plays are working out very, very well for Illinois. Boise State might try to use the same strategy, but they don't have the front line in the initiation that Illinois does here, and they also don't quite have the disengage that is potentially available for them.
Yeah, Ascent going to chase down the Bosch there. Mistletoe and just chilling there as well. Red Hots and Ascent got to be very careful, but they know that Aqua and the Yuumi on the way there with the Yuumi in stealth. Going to jump onto Mistletoe. They're going to see if they can land the root from the Yuumi. They're going to get the shutdown onto Mistletoe. The Bosch forced to taunt away. Barely going to survive the tower. Going to stop any of Boise State's advances, but this should be a second tower for Boise State. It's everyone up in a party in the top lane. You can see just off screen Goblin waiting in that tri-bush, and any re-engage happen there. The Bosch going to back right in front of Boise State. And here we go. Denkow going to get a knock up there with the first wave of the ultimate there. The Vigard cage going to block out anything. The Bosch going to be stunned with the Stand United. And now a nice polymorph onto Just Chillin'. Can Boise State pick him off? There goes the healing. A double kill going to be landed. Make that a triple kill for Goblin, and Boise State just like that answers right back. Nearly an ace as Mistletoe has respawned, but Boise State picks up a 5-0 in the top lane, and they're loving how that fight went.
And it was a phenomenal response to an engage there by Zhonhei. We saw the jump in, the ult to follow, and the remainder of Illinois trying to engage on that. As a couple members of Boise State actually walked into a bush there directly into that ultimate, but their response was impeccable, and they were able to get the pinch off as a responding play there to Illinois. So Boise State really finding a big overall victory, getting a bit of a push there, and 2 towers in that play overall. Definitely pushing that gold lead further to their advantage here, and extending that kill differentiation as well. Keep in mind also, you've got a pretty big CS lead on this Vagar, so as much as Draven has been helping in these team fights, as Boise State is going to continue to pressure these team fights to come out because they're going to try to poke these guys down and not allow them to initiate here. This Draven is going to struggle more and more with trying to maintain CS because he's going to have to separate from his team, and they need his damage.
Yeah, Boise State running them down right now in the Illinois jungle. The Dragon about to spawn. You see Dunhay there sort of waiting in the wings. Now he's going to try and go in. Stealth's going to land, but a nice polymorph there by Ascent. The ult barely going to do anything as Aqua now on a killing spree. And we do see the Dragon spawning there. The Infernal Soul going to be up, and Boise State trying to put themselves on soul point here. Looks like Illinois does want to contest, however. They still have their jungler. Aqua does have the 1 level advantage, though, on the smite. There goes Master E. Alpha Strike going to go in. He's going to be immune thanks to the Tarek ult there. Boise State smartly going to disengage. Now the Dragon being burned down, dropping below 2k health. Looks like Red Team's going to pick that one up, but Boise State wants to win the fight. Wild Growth going to land, and Aqua going to have free reign thanks to Goblin as well. 2 kills on to Goblin. Dean going to pick up another one, and Boise State, they'll give up a Dragon. That's their 2nd straight ace on to Illinois.
Boise State picking up everything that they were not able to grab in the first several games of this series. Currently sitting at 1-4. The first game looking very promising. That's exactly what they want from this composition as well. They're trying to get these secret initiations or force a couple of the Illinois members to engage on them while the remainder can just poke down. Even just the Hextech GLP from that Vagar is doing so much damage to every member here of Illinois that little bit of poke that they're able to do in a second or two from a couple of members is going to half health or more any of these members here of the LNI. So Boise State certainly focusing on these objectives, but doing exactly what needs to be done, and Illinois absolutely has the capacity to turn this one around. There's a lot of damage coming out here from Mistletoe, and a lot of damage as well coming out from Just Chillin', but they need to be able to catch Boise State off guard. It's very difficult to do that with the composition that they have, but if they can get a full 5v5 with them beginning the engage, they have the upper hand on that initiation.
Yeah, the last 2 times Boise State picked up aces, it did start with a member of the Illini being picked by Boise State, basically making it a 4v5 as we see the Illini realizing that all standing there in that top tri-bush there, maybe trying to set up something around the Baron as it has just spawned. Of course, they do have the Red River Scuttle there, so Boise State not going to be able to try and sneak anything around. Mistletoe maybe trying to bait something back. Here comes the Cavalry from Illinois. They want to engage. Flash in by Dian Hao. The cage is going to come out. Wild Growth immediately committed to Aqua there. Nice dodge on the Draven. He's unstoppable. Just chilling in the back line, though. He is going to pick up a 1,000 gold shutdown onto Goblin, but it's not going to matter much more than that as he will fall down Boise State looked like they were trying to pick up another one. They will pick up the Tark as well. It is a double kill. Shen going to back there. Mistletoe sitting, and Boise State wants to hop on the Baron. We do see there is a ward there for the Illini, so they know they can maybe try and steal it, but the Bosch nearly dying from the Baron AoE. They have to be very careful if they want to have any steal here.
It's going to be a real struggle to get this steal. No smite, as Just Chillin' is still facing a gray screen at the moment, but there is the possibility we've seen crazier things happen. The teleport now coming through, and Illinois is going to try to commit to this one. Boise State, though, picking up the Baron.
And good job picking up the Baron there. Aqua gonna finish everyone else off as the crucial Baron timer spawns in the top right corner of your screen. 2 minutes and 46 seconds and ticking down for Boise State to have empowered minions, and they're gonna love that. You see an IE and a static shiv finished in one back for Aqua. He is online, 13-3 and 12. You can see Goblin there at 12-4 and 8, working towards that Rabadon's death cap, 1100 gold or less away after picking up those two needlessly large rods. You see now that Dien Hao, he had a Triforce, actually sold that for a Mikhail, so he's now part of that full funnel onto Just Chillin' as well, who has the Wits End Blood Razor and the Rage Blade. So it's going to be a battle of the funnels, and right now Boise State's very, very far ahead, as you see 25 kills on Twitch and Vygar and just a measly 12 on the Master Yi and Draven for Illinois.
Boise State responded to that initiation very well. It was a good attempt by Illinois, and as we were talking about the strategy that Illinois needs to take to be able to find these small victories that they need to get the big W at the end, is trying to initiate a team fight with all 5 members. So we saw the attempt to sit in the bush. Boise State didn't let that happen. The vision, though, allowed Illinois to try to readjust, but the problem was we had the flash in and then the ultimate from the Wukong to engage on their side, and then no one was able to catch up in time, and Boise State split themselves around either side of that river barrier, and that allowed Aqua to just pop off, do all the damage he could be on one side, Goblin do the remainder, and Boise State's going to initiate again.
And Boise State's going to kill Just Chillin' before the Tark can even save him. 4 members already down, chasing down the Bosch. He'll go for the hero taunt under the tower, but even 2 towers isn't going to stop Boise State's push here. As the chat suggested, they should push mid, and that's exactly what they're going to do. The ace comes up on the screen, the towers start to fall, and Boise State well on their way to winning their last game of the UCI Best Coast regular season tournament with a dominating win over Illinois in the first game. As we see there, the Gold League growing to 15,000 gold. So Boise State now on match point, and they played that game perfectly, and it was an electric game drive from start to finish. 7 kills in the first minute, and Boise State really never stopped getting any kills after that.
Now, 23 minutes and 15,000 gold lead, that's massive. And it certainly wasn't a huge gold disparity up until we hit, past 15 minutes, even though we had so many kills. But we'd rather hear from the expert, I believe. I think we got Baratel locked in.
I'm
Hey,
so
there
locked
he is.
in. I'm ready to go, and my lights are different colors because they can do that. Technology is a wonderful thing, guys, and it seems to be that Boise State has figured out what they need to technically do to continue to win game after game. This is a third game series for them, W after W after W, and it's insane because we saw specifically what was happening with their team comp and how they were able to just continue to extenuate their lead. I don't even think they even got into a deficit against them.
Yeah, it definitely was a crazy thing there, as we do see some of the highlights from Boise State's win there. Just absolutely incredible. This was just this felt like a game that I would see when I'm playing here. A 2-tier tower dive at level 1, and members dying left and right, and Boise State, as you mentioned, came out ahead on that one. They knew what they needed to do, Baratel, and that's put 2 kills on the start of the game on Goblin and Aqua, and that'll go a long way to helping you win.
Baratel's still there. Is he still there?
Here, I'm still talking. I'm going to keep talking until my cows come home.
Good.
As you were saying, Fish, level, not even 2 minutes in the game, 7 kills on the board. And as we predicted in the draft, both teams kind of having a very similar approach to what their strengths are and what team member they wanted to elevate. The Yi funnel automatically coming out with this Tarek here in the mid lane. And for the most part, he was able to get a high amount of gold on this Yi champion. But unfortunately, it's hard to bust through not only on this Twitch, it was bar impossible. And then at the back line, Goblin was just laying it on them. Just from the three-point line all the way down from downtown, getting dunk after dunk. I think that's probably one of the best performances I've seen this season on this particular bot lane, is just leaving Goblin alone to his devices with this Vygar.
Yeah, and I mean, there was one fight there where you mentioned it, Baratel. The Yi funnel kind of worked, and Yi just chilled and said, all right, I got to kill Aqua, and I got to kill Goblin. He did that, and Boise State just sort of fell apart. But once the Yi fell behind, there was nothing he could do. As you see here, he gets the Taric ult, doesn't even matter. Boise State just absolutely melting him down. And as you mentioned, I like how they use Goblin. So Goblin, you're just going to farm down in the bot lane. Dean's going to go support Aqua, and that Vygar got so far ahead that he just was basically one-shotting anyone that Aqua hadn't already killed.
And the Yuumi doing a spectacular job as well. In the overall, I think that was a huge point of keeping everyone alive. The aggro swap, as well as the Yuumi heals coming through on everyone. Boise State doing such a good job of cycling themselves to take front aggro and then move along as they get low.
Twitch chat was trying to voice in here that the moment that they won that initial dragon fight before they had secured the Baron, that was their time to capitalize on the secure. And albeit that is true, when it comes down to these kind of higher echelon plays at the top tier of competition, you want to go with the plays that have the minimal amount of risk possible. So them going from the Dragon secured fight to securing then a further Baron, as we saw, Illinois had no chance contesting that. And when they did, they put themselves at a disadvantage so far down that they couldn't defend Boise State's push from that point forward.
And while we do have Baratel and Jolly here, we'll start with you, Baratel. Game 2, any predictions from either side? Do you think we see double funnel again, or do you think one of the two teams says funnel doesn't work, or do you think both teams say funnel, maybe not the strategy we want to go for?
I think personally, I want to see a bounce house combo. We've seen it in the past, maybe over years past, and the champions still operate very much in the same way. I understand that we have a very powerful player here in the jungle, with that being Aqua, in a sense doing a phenomenal job as well, filling whatever role his team needs. I would like to see that hyperactive, the Bronco bounce house combo that we've kind of coined and loved in the past.
It goes over to Mia.
Yeah, well, what would you think?
I do think that they're both going to try to go for the funnel again. Okay, maybe not Illinois, but I would not be surprised if they did go for it again. The Taric and the Yi, if they can secure the Taric and the Yi, I think that portion obviously works very, very well. Boise State did have a little bit of a struggle towards like the late early game portion, as well as the early game when, as we saw the first minute and a half, having the 4 kills on Boise State and the 3 there for Illinois. So I would not be surprised if both teams once again tried to go for some sort of funnel strat. But again, Illinois would only do it, I really think, if they secured that Yi and the Taric on their side.
And we'll have to find out. We will check back in with you, Baratel, the voice of chat, after our Game 2 draft with Boise State on match point. So we'll see if Baratel approves of Boise State's comp to try and close out this series with a victory. But the other thing I'd like to see is, we saw it against Dixie State, is maybe put Red Hots on something that we've seen a lot in the past, like the Akali, the top laner for Illinois. He's a late sub. He's an 80 carry main, so maybe not in the most comfortable role there. So maybe letting Red Hot shine in that top lane, where you maybe have a mismatch in how the understanding of that top lane works. An 80 carry player used to having a support. I'd like to see that maybe as well. But we will have to see. There are your standings for the UCI Best Coast Tournament. Texas all alone at 5-0. Stony Brook at 4-1. Bethany Lutheran and Western University rounding out the teams above 500 at 3-2. And then Boise State and Illinois locked in a battle right now. The Broncos winning Game 1 could potentially move to 2-4 to wrap up this tournament if they can win Game 2 or Game 3. The Illini looking for a little bit of a reverse sweep, and then Michigan State down there at 1-5. There are your lineups for both sides. Red Hots, Aqua, Ascent, Goblin, and Dean taking on Just Chillin', Mistletoe, Sylvana Kressel, the Bosch, and then another member. It was Dean Howe for Illinois there, and of course the Illinois has gone with the full swap up there. That is the last game of the regular season, so maybe experimenting with some comps the Illini are before going into whatever holds next for them. There's the UCI Best Coast Tournament, 14 teams, 2 pools of 7 best best of 3 Summoner's Rift, and then the records place bracket. So with the best records going from into the playoffs from the regular season, so we'll have to see what that means for Boise State, whether or not they pick up a win here tonight. So going to be very interesting to see as we do head in to our Game 2 draft, Jolly. If maybe we got it from Beartail, by the way. Illinois spelled out Boise. I want to see if either team spells out anything in this one, if we're going to have some competitive bands maybe this time coming out.
Like I-L-N-O-Y. Hey, and that, includes the ye. I would say that. Brand, got it pretty standard, though, for Boise State. Some really heavy picks for the Illini there. The Morgana and the Talia, like we saw last game, and the Sona is going to be a ban out here. No potential other funnels from Boise State.
And doesn't look like we're maybe spelling anything out yet, but yeah, the Talia and the Morgana. Talia definitely something that the mid laner Sylvana likes to play there for the Illinois. And then there's the Master Yi, gonna prevent anything from being secured there, any sort of funnel, and the Udyr being banned away there by Illinois. So definitely some interesting bans from the Illini. Boise State trying to say, we don't want to see that Yi again. We're gonna make sure there's no funnel, but Rumble still on the table.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the BSU. I see the BSU for Illinois. I don't know how they're going to round that one out, though. Unless they can spell winners in 2 bands. The Udyr is going to be the final one there. And the first lock-in for Boise State, as Illinois decided to spell out BSU instead of trying to prevent the same thing from happening that just happened last game. Lock in for Goblin. And then the Ashe, who is very, very powerful, very popular right now, and the Volibear, a Freljordian selection so far entirely on the side of the Illini.
Yeah, I want to see, we see somebody in the chat even saw, they want to see the Rumble mid not being banned away, and we still saw the Vygar bot lane, so maybe Goblin potentially running it back. The Kindred pickup there for Aqua, another one of those champions that he definitely loves to play that can fit that sort of pseudo AD carry role, almost like a Switch. And there it is! There is the Rumble lock-in, the first time we're going to see Ascent on what is far and away his favorite champion here on the Boise State stream. I know a lot of players have wanted to see it. I know chat's wanted to see it. I've heard from people who've spectated it that he is a madman on it. So I'm excited that we're finally going to see a Rumble here for Ascent as we are in Game 2.
I don't know. The Illini possibly making a mistake there by not picking legitimate bans, especially in a 2 out of 3 when you are down 1. Deciding to do something clever. It's nice, but they're going to round out with a Xayah, so clearly not focusing on the bottom lane. They're going to spell out something else towards the end, I'm imagining. And continuing with the Freljordian theme on the side of Illinois there. Lots of ice and lots of damage, that's for sure.
And then we see the Dr. Budo ban. So BSU XD in the ban this time from Illinois. They spelt out Boise. They spelt out BSU XD. I'm almost rooting, as much as it pains me to say it, for Illinois, just to see what they could spell out in Game 3, because you can't copy yourself. So I almost want to see what they ban out in Game 3, should we get there. And then we see, of course, the Wukong and Braum being taken away there by Boise State. But hey, the Illini, they can still keep up the Freljordian trend there as well. Maybe something like top lane Sejuani, I guess, if you want to get creative, or a jungle. Hey, look at that.
Oh,
there's the Sejuani. So they're just going to go full ice, I guess.
You could possibly take top. I don't want to say that, this whole theme, the theme of spelling something with your bands and picking an overall theme of your champions, if it's willing to throw, but in the potential match point here for Boise State, it is risky, and the Amumu and the Gnar are going to be the final pickers for Boise State, so both teams are really just picking, it seems like, something fun. This has much less of a comprehensive composition or any sort of cohesion between the compositions that we saw compared to the last game, aside from, the Freljordians on the one side and, just the massive engageability on the side of Boise State there.
So we do see the Silas, the last pick in there for the Illini there, and then you can see Boise State teams. You mentioned the Amumu and the Gnar. I want to see where Amumu is going to go, because he doesn't usually thrive anywhere outside the jungle unless maybe it is a lane Kindred. So I want to see how these team comps are going to shape up. You can see Illinois, maybe how it could shape up a little bit better. But before we hear from Beartail, before we get his predictions on how it's going to go, and before we get into Game 2 with Boise State on match point, we are going to take a short break, but you don't want to go anywhere. Boise State State up 1-0 right now, heading into Game 2 against Illinois in the last regular season game of the UCI Best Coast Tournament.
Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Welcome back into the Boise State Esports Twitch channel, and we are in for hopefully a Boise State win here coming up in Game 2. The draft phase has gone through, waiting to load into the game, and then Jolly and Baratel joining me here. Baratel, the voice of chat. We got the BSU XD spelt out. Good job by Illinois with 2 games in a row.
Pretty cool. Very intelligent and clever design for the band phase. But I do want to give a little bit of tip of the hat to Boise State because they caught on to the Illinois comp before they even started drafting it. That Braum band, that left them with what? Nothing bottom support. Boise State realizing, we can get a little cheeky with the draft too.
And I have to say, do you like the Fjordian combo from Illinois? I know this isn't Teamfight Tactics, so there's no, bonus for everybody belonging to the same tribe, but do you at least like the creativity to bring out everyone with the same sort of light blue color palette?
You know, when it comes down to it, I think that the color scheme thematically, super cool. Although in the lore, none of these would be teaming up together. Ash and Lysandra, enemy sisters. Volibear's just doing his own thing. Sejuani, again, another rival sister. So those 3 in general should never be teamed up. Silas is a pretty big dude, and he wants to keep his distance as much as possible.
As we do see that the players that are in the arena, Dean and Ascent in tonight, they are socially distanced. You see the masks are on. You can see the plexiglass separating them. Also a couple of computers as well as we start to phase everyone back into as normal as we can be while still being very socially distanced. Of course, with the casters, you can see we are more than 6 feet apart, probably miles apart at this point. So doing our best here, and we'll hope Boise State could get a win. Maybe, make sure Illinois doesn't come within 6 feet of any of them, and they can just sort of run them down.
Yeah, and we did hope, and even the chat spoke up that they wanted that Wombo combo comp. I think Boise State has concocted the 2.0 version of the big combo. Look at their draft. They have the Vygar cage. They have Kindred ult. With the confining kind of ability, everyone runs to a Kindred ult the moment that the team fight breaks out to get that invulnerability. But look what happens afterwards. You got the Rumble ult, the Equalizer being laid on top of it. Nar's going to knock you into a wall, and Amuma's going to say, you know what? Everybody hug me. I want all of us to be friends. So I think they've kind of stepped it up. We've seen the before comp, and now that time's given a little bit of time for us to develop it as, things get better with age. Some would say, some of the elderly people. This is going to be something that Boise State has kind of perfected, and I think it's them whittling away at that edge, making it as sharp as possible.
And you think that Amumu is going in the support lane, or do you think he's going somewhere else?
Yeah, that's the tough call. I have no idea. I don't think that Kindred's actually jungling, though. I think it's actually going to be Kindred Vygar bottom, perhaps, with Amumu still jungling. Although, you can do Minimumu. You can. I don't know why you'd want to take Rumble away from Ascent or anything, but you can flex the Mumu into more carry lanes.
If they want to get us
as
excited as we could be, and then tear us down, it would be to pick that Rumble for the first time and not have Ascent run it in the mid lane. There's no way.
And I do want to hear from both of you guys. We'll start with you, Jolly. More or less than 7 kills in the first 2 minutes in game 2.
Okay. Based on both of these compositions, I'm gonna call 6. I'm gonna say just barely under, but it's gonna be violent.
Baratel, you expecting more or less action?
I want more action, but I expect them to play with a little bit more reservation. I want them to, especially when you come from the Illinois comp, the perspective is you have to scale. An interesting question is whether or not this Ashe is going to go with the Blade of the Rune King or that Essence Reaver kind of low CDR build. Because if they do, Boise State, if they do not succumb to deep vision, if they're not able to get themselves established in the deeper parts of the enemy jungle, then the entire comp from the Freljord side has so much pick and CC potential that Boise State will never be able to group at all. So it's kind of going to be an interesting kind of meeting of the minds here, especially within the first few moments, but I don't think anything too drastic is going to happen until post level 6.
Well, Boise State will try.
Yeah, they might try. We're gonna hear from you after the game. And I said I'm rooting for an Illinois win because I want to see what they're gonna spell out in game 3. I don't know if you're rooting for a Boise State win or not. I know we're supposed to go for the home team, but when you have that much creativity, I want to see how you run it back in game 3. So Baratel, we'll hear from you after game 2, potentially a game 3. We never know. And then Fish and Jolly will take over in game 2. Boise State won the first game here. This is a best of 3. They are on match point here, as it looks like we got a brief glimpse at Summoner's Rift. And now we go all the way in as the emotes are being spammed. Does look like it's going to be that Kindred in the jungle and that Amumu Viagar bot lane. So something to keep an eye out on as Illinois once again with the 5-man setup.
I was really hoping for that Amumu to be going bottom lane because I love, first off, Dean adores Thresh. We know at least has been in the past Dean's very favorite. Having at least a binding hook style for that champion and the heavy engage, the ability to just jump into everybody, throw down the ultimate. In his case, he's going to be dealing a lot more damage, obviously, but the initiation and the heavy engage, as well as just that intense aggression, is definitely accompanied by that bottom lane Ascent. Thank goodness, thank you guys for not doing anything cheeky with that. And I know Aqua is amazing on the Kindred. I also just absolutely adore Gnar and the ability to go in as heavily as he can. With the rest of the composition, he seems absolutely perfect to be able to hop in on that Kindred ultimate like Baratel was talking about. Everybody's going to try to get in on that. And everyone that they currently have there, especially Red Hots and Dean on the Gnar and the Amumu, have the ability to lock down the entire team for a decent amount of time. And then there's the damage remaining from the 3 members, Aqua, Ascent, and Goblin, to absolutely burn down the Illini here. But if the Freljordian composition can work, there is the potential. I'm a little bit curious to see how this bottom lane goes, though, as the Bosch is on the Sejuani. Already quite a bit of back and forth now here in the top lane. Just chillin', might be looking for some sort of early gank here in top.
Yeah, we did see Boise State and Aqua stealing the Illinois red, and then we saw Just Chillin' stealing Boise State's blue, so it is going to be interesting. Doesn't look like the junglers are going to meet up, though. Here comes Just Chillin' charging in the mid lane there. Does look like Red Hots was able to retreat, as it looks like for now Boise State has moved Ascent up into the top lane and then moved Gnar into the mid lane. We see a couple of engages there. Nice bandit toss by Dean. Damage going out. Goblin not quite able to get much, but a ton of poke. There was looked like an attempted tower dive on the top lane on Dian Hao, but it did not result in anything. Just a little bit of damage coming out here. So Boise State definitely winning these early trades. We'll have to see how that carries over. There's going to be a fight in the jungle, though. Just chilling, standing on a ward, going to smite the red buff to get that heal. But here comes the rest of Boise State. As we see Ascent also putting some flame spitter damage onto Yun Hao there. Looks like this bear might be able to survive. Boise State trying to hunt him down. The flash from Aqua, and it's going to be Gnar picking up the first blood. So a flash coming out from Just Chillin'. It did not matter. He did not get the execute. Boise State going to pick up first blood.
And the flash from Aqua in response, not necessary, as the tower was the option. Actually, you know what, it may have been, because that pressure from Aqua forced Just Chillin' to remain under tower there. Not picking up any damage onto it. Therefore, no assist going over to Aqua, unfortunately, for Boise State. But picking up the first blood is a nice start to this one. And the little swap here between Ascent and Red Hots as well seems to be going very, very well for Boise State. And that is going to be another kill there for the Broncos as Ascent in a 1v1 there takes down Dunhai. And that is a rough start for the top side of the map on the Illini.
Yeah, teleport going to come out here from Dunhai. We'll see if he wants to try and run down Ascent. We do see the boss trying to engage here on Goblin. One more auto attack. Going to get the stun, but a huge bandage toss into the follow-up cage. The flash not going to matter. Dean's going to pick up one. Dunhai got found out. Aqua coming up perfectly there. There's the ward to find him. Ascent trying to play very careful. The heat has gone down. Able to use more abilities. Flamespitter going to pick up another one. And Ascent showing why that champion band away. 2-0 in the first 4 minutes. A quieter game than game one, but still a ton of action as Mistletoe very, very low. Dean going to try and flash in. Not going to be able to get it. Just chilling is there. Goblin going to have to make sure he gets the safety. Does have the flash. He should be able to survive, but that's the Illini's first kill, and that's going to go on to just chilling.
And that was actually not a single defensive flash has been used so far by Boise State. Almost every single one of the Illini's have been defensive. So Boise State has been incredibly aggressive. That just shows you exactly how much pressure they are trying to put on in this early game. And now we can see the Bosch getting caged in under the tower there. And enough shots are going to give Goblin another pickup, sitting at 1-0-1 in the bottom lane and keeping that tower alive against 3 members of Illinois.
Yeah, the great stun by Goblin, keeping the Bosch in tower range to take another one that says Wani only level 3. Mistletoe backing. There's the ward. The auto attack went off, but it wasn't in time. It actually was allowed to get it back. There you see in chat, Red Hot's back in the mid lane there, thanks to a nice little lane swap, something he's very, very comfortable on, though I don't think we ever saw him hunt on Gnar last year. Just chilling and get caught out at his grump. Aqua going to try and chase him down. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to pick up the kill, but Boise State loving to start to this one as Red Hot's going to put some damage on the stun, going to prevent Sylvan from doing anything. Aqua's here. Can they get the follow-up? No flash, and that's going to be another kill, but Ascent might not know the Bosch is there. There's the Flame Spitter. He is overheated, so he's not going to be able to cast anything else, and that's a shutdown for Illinois. So they're going to take some extra gold there, but still trailing by 1,500.
Second kill so far. Just before that, it was 6-1. Now under 6 minutes, 2 minutes, we had 0 kills on either side, but there have been a ton now that Boise State has found the initiation, and Dean wants to continue this engage in the top lane.
Yeah, Dean Howe is going to actually be in a bush all alone and very low health, but they want to hunt down the Bosch. He's going to drop very low. Bandage Shot's going to finish him off. Yen Howe going to heal up thanks to Fleet Footwork and the Silas passive. Going to be able to get a kill on the Goblin. Red Hot's ignited in the mid lane. He's not going to survive, but this should be a kill. Now, he is going to hit level 6. We'll see if he can steal the Kindred Ult. He is going to be able to pull it off. There is no response for Boise State. Everyone going to be healed up there. And Yen Howe doing a great job, but he is going to fall. Thought he might be able to clutch it. So a couple of members going to go down. There's the equalizer from Ascent. He's going to chase down Mistletoe, the flash, and that's going to be one more for Ascent. 3-1 is just chilling. Going to pick up that first dragon. So Cloud Drake over to Illinois.
Such a good return engage there by Dunhai. Just not nearly enough damage with the item comparison that Boise State has over them. Also the pressure that this Silas has had in the top lane. You can see the CS has been pushed so far 42-23 as Boise State has taken up a lot of space in that top lane with this lane swap. Ascent, the one that they wanted to take down early on, sitting at 3, now 1-0. Still so much pressure. Boise State really feels in control this game, even though Illinois have made several really good response plays in the last couple of minutes. It is definitely becoming more and more intense, and now we can see Ascent trying to increase that intensity of the heat here as he tries to finish off a 1v1. Mistletoe there, not going to be able to finish it, but that's going past the full tower, and that's going to send the ADC all the way back and loosen out on a good chunk of creep.
Yeah, unfortunately the Harpoon missed there from Ascent, wasn't able to get the slow, and then his heat not cooperating. Unfortunately couldn't get another ability off, but yeah, and that's the matchup I was actually going to talk about, Charlie. As you see, Ascent's level 7, he's now got his solo lane, the Bosch sort of pseudo-jungling. That was a level 7 mid lane, top laner versus the level 580 carry. I don't think Mistletoe wants to be in that much longer, as you see the Bosch now rotating down, so maybe a misplay there by the Illini, leaving their AD carry all alone.
Absolutely, that is a big struggle, especially with how far ahead Ascent is. And we can expect a roam now from Boise State, as we've already had the couple of swaps. The wow, the flash in now and the flash out from Red Hot.
Red Hot's going to get frozen under tower. He is going to go down. Aqua going to pick up one. We'll see if he can pick up another one. There is a charging bear, so Kindred has to be very, very careful. Sylvan very low still, but should have the claw to get away. Aqua trying to do what he can, but without a flash, I'm not sure he's going to be able to get the pick up there. There's Ascent, though. The cavalry has come. Going to see if we can get the slow there. Lamb going to do a little bit of help there. Shield going to land the speed boost as well. And a nice job getting over the wall there by the Lysandra. So Boise State not able to pick up more than a 1-for-1, but Aqua is going to have a red buff here. And Dean just missing the bandage toss, but he's going to do enough to scare away Just Chill. And we'll see if Boise State wants to turn around there. There is a Silas coming in as well. Boise State has to be very, very careful. Aqua going to commit the ultimate, going to dodge the slam dunk there by the Volibear. Everyone going to get healed up. There's the equalizer, but the first shutdown going to go on Yenha. He's immediately going to fall, however. Just Chilling incredibly low, but unfortunately for Boise State, no one able to get in range. The Bosch, though, he might have to be very careful here. The Harpoon and the bandage toss going to miss, and this might be a spam emote and disengage as Mitchelton going to get some slows. Dean not level 6, so no ultimate online yet for the Mummy.
A 1-for-1 in the overall there. Boise State heavily on the aggressive side. Illinois doing a very good job of responding to that engage here. And once again, doing some lane swapping to respond to Illinois' response. Lane swapping, so Boise State constantly trying to stay a step ahead. You can see the Meganar over here trying to get as many plates off as possible. We're still under 10 minutes, so we have over 4 minutes left to pick up those plates. And already so much damage dealt by Boise State now here as a couple members. We can see Dean and Red Hot's trying to get the engage here, but there is a response from Illinois.
Yeah, great job getting Dean, not level 6, to have the all. Aqua going to hop over the wall there. 4 members of Illinois going to chase it down. Kindred push him off as well. Boise State did have Ascent roaming down. Equalizer not quite yet on cooldown, as we do see the Dragon not going to be up on the map. Ascent now going to try and catch out this Lysandra. Going to maybe try and force the grip away. It will come out, and Just Chilling forced to turn around. Good job there by Ascent, able to put some damage on. But yeah, as you mentioned, Boise State very aggressive, Jolly, with these lane swaps. You see Goblin now up in the top lane taking on this Silas, a matchup you may sometimes usually see in the mid lane. So I like how Boise State has sort of said everybody has free roam to go wherever they want. Red Hot's not able to stop the Bosch's back. They are able to get a slow on to Mistletoe. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it away. He does not have enough mana to ult. He is going to just fall over. Boise State picking up another kill. The equalizer going to snipe out the Lysandra. Dionhow going to go down as well. And Boise State just popping off 3 kills there in the last 30 seconds across the map.
That timing on the Meganar W for Red Hot was absolutely spectacular. Aqua was able to put down a little bit of damage there onto, I think it was the Mistletoe. Ooh, and in the meantime, Aqua's going to push just a little too far, get some vision down, but it's going to immediately be taken away. But just spectacular timing here from Boise State. Maybe a little too aggressive, maybe getting a little big for their britches. They do have a pretty decent gold lead and really good control of the map at the moment, but Illinois' composition gives them some better late game engage here than Boise State.
And the Ash Arrow from Mistletoe gonna land on to Dean. Red Hot's just hopping over it, so that could open up a second Dragon for the Illini here. Aqua has respawned, gonna try his best to come rushing in. Does not have flash to get back over the wall. Does have the ultimate if he wants to try and keep Dragon alive, but that would be a near suicide mission as Dragon's health gonna drop very low. As Aqua hops over the wall now, so this could be a full engage for Boise State. Meganar gonna come out, slow gonna land, but there is the Lysandra. The Broncos have to be very, very careful. Dienhow dropping very low in the top lane on that island. Red Hot's gonna try and jump in, not able to land on anyone. The Bosch gonna dash away now there as well. Sylvan gonna get stunned, gonna cancel out the claw. Gonna be forced to use the Ice Tomb on himself. Gonna come out of it and immediately go down. Aqua gonna pick up one. Ascent gonna chase down Mistletoe. There's the flash bandage toss plus the ignite. Dienhow gonna get a kill on the Goblin in the process. So Boise State going to pick up 3 kills there, and the Broncos loving how that's going after losing that Dragon.
And after saying, the later this game goes, actually there's a lot of scaling on Boise State. And yes, Illinois absolutely has the potential to return fire, as we saw there. But Boise State's level of aggression is really putting the Illini on edge here. We can kind of see them faltering a little bit, maybe in their play or in their response engages, going a little too deep on Boise State, or not quite knowing when to disengage or when to continue on the fight. So while Boise State has lost out now on 2 Dragons, the Cloud Drake and the Infernal Drake, Boise State is picking up so many kills and now taking down the first turret of the game here in the bottom lane. Still a lot of damage though coming out of this Silas, and really, really good pickups on those ultimates and utilization of the opposing ultimates there. But it's still a big struggle, as the majority of deaths on the team lie with that Silas in the top lane. And this is where the pressure that Boise State has put on the overall map as well is going to lead into bigger creep score differentials.
Glacial Prison going to come out on the Goblin. He's not going to be able to pick up anybody there. Boise State, as you can see on the map there, attempting to roam up there, but Lysandra was also on her way. So a nice job there by Illinois, getting a pick on the Goblin, not as having as much free reign to solo farm as he had last game in the Illini, learning maybe just a little bit about why you don't let a Vygar just kind of farm as long as he wanted. Somebody asking if they should play Amumu and Sejuani support in their solo queue games. Of course, why not? I saw someone else ask if these games were for fun. League of Legends is always supposed to be for fun as a fight breaks out here. Equalizer going to land, the boss just taking it. Nice freeze on to Rumble, and the shutdown's going to happen. Nar's going to take down Mistletoe, though. It is going to be a 3-on-4. As we see, Goblin has finally got back in the fight now. Dean trying to bandage toss over, not going to land onto anyone. Yenhao dropping very low, tries to Hex Tech Protobelt in. He's not going to get anywhere. The Bosch and Aqua dueling, but Aqua's just going to use the Kindred ult there. The Bosch should be able to survive, but not going to be able to pick up anything else there. A double kill on the Goblin, who was able to teleport into that fight. Not sure if Illinois expected that or not, and Boise State with a great answer there, but a shutdown did go over to the side of Illinois with the Ascent dying.
And Goblin and Aqua both getting low. Aqua actually barely surviving. I was very surprised that Aqua was able to get back, but that was all thanks to Red Hot's initiating later on. There is the stud, looking for more on that Meganar, almost with the rock throw, but Goblin's going to pick up yet another, now sitting with a bounty on his head here. And as I was mentioning, that this creep score differential is going to come into play here. Boise State still in full control of the map as another fight breaks out.
That was a nice bandage toss by Dean over the wall of the jungle camp, but it wasn't going to be enough. The Rift Herald is going to be taken down by Aqua, so Boise State going to have access to that. You see the top tower very, very low, the bot lane and the mid lane being pushed out, so a couple of ways Boise State can maybe use that. Yenhao going to steal the Gnar ultimate there if he wants to go into Mega Gnar. Ascent going to get caught out there. The Equalizer going to land, going to chunk down the health bars, but it's not going to be enough. Aqua's going to pick up one. Red Hot's going to pick up a second. Aqua trying to do what he can. He's going to pick up another one as well. Goblin comes in. Boise State with an excellent turnaround. Ascent having to be the sacrificial lamb. Slow just going to miss on Mistletoe. The Mega Gnar health mode is barely saving Red Hot. Mistletoe thought he had a kill, but it's an ace for Boise State, and the Broncos just pull further and further ahead.
We're going to have to see much more of this Gnar from Red Hot. Spectacular engages and follow-ups, and so many times using that Mega Gnar at the last possible moment to either get the stun lockdown or get the ultimate. There we saw a fantastic slow from the Q into the W for the lockdown on to Mistletoe, and there's not much you can do about that. Boise State now looking to pick up their third tower here of the game, one in each lane. Not a ton of pressure in any lane, but again, they've really got control over the entire map here. They're determining where Illinois has to respond. They are engaging almost every single one of these fights, even though it feels like Illinois is starting the fight by beginning to move in. Boise State begins it and engages it because they are allowing Illinois to begin those engages. They're intentionally getting to a position where Illinois thinks they might have the upper hand, but this is another instance where they've had the upper hand the entire game in front of the Dragon Pit. Likely an engage will fall that Crystalline Arrow.
And Goblin's going to pick up the first kill onto Mistletoe. The Dragon dropping very low. It has been Kindred ulted, so it could not die. Now it's up for grabs. Boise State going to try and prevent the Soul Point, but they also want to get some kills. Dragon going to go over to Boise State, and that's a quadra kill for a set. Right as the chat said the Boise State Rebel player is PogChamp, he proves why. A quad kill and the bear and the dragon pickup for a set. 10-3-7. And what you can definitely see is a champion he loves to play, usually banned away. He gets it this game, and he is making Illinois pay. What a play by Ascent and the rest of Boise State.
This is why we've never seen it before. This is exactly why. Because even if a team hasn't played up against Ascent Rumble, if something has that much infamy, there's generally a reason for it. Dean here, he's getting very, very low, trying to battle this blue buff. He should just be able to stay alive and snag it. The recall attempted, but Red Hots is going to get jumped on here by two members of Illinois in the bottom side with just one auto attack left on that second bottom tower. Very close for Red Hots, did get him over a bit of gold with his death.
Now, I wanted to see the epic battle between Blue Buff and Dean. It did look like Blue Buff, in the end, got the victory there, so Dean might have some payback on his mind when he next finds himself on the bot side there. But Boise State, as you mentioned, just one sliver of health away from taking their fifth tower. Illinois, nothing on the board to show for it in Boise State right now. As you can see, nearly doubling them in kills and up 10,000 gold on the Illini. You can see Ash still has yet to finish an item, and Aqua, the jungler for Boise State, already has an Infinity Edge finish. So Mistletoe not having the most fun of times right now. You can see with that 0-7 scoreline, Aqua got to jump onto the boss, do some damage. They're trying to save the ward. Not going to happen. Now he's going to jump onto Sylvan. He's going to force to be run away there as there was reinforcements coming, but Boise State looking for another fight. And here we go. Dienhao going to jump in, not going to land a hook onto anyone. We'll see if Boise State wants to re-engage. Cage is going to come out. They'll take down a ward as the crowd erupts over that ward kill. Blast cone away. Sylvan trying to back there. The Gnar all on Dienhao. We'll see if he wants to do it. There's the bandage toss and the stun. Gonna throw Dean into the wall, but it's not gonna matter. The equalizer used to pick up a kill there. Sylvan forced to ult as well. He will immediately fall. Here comes the rest of Boise State. There's Aqua forced to use the Kindred ult. Everybody gonna stay alive. That healing should be enough for him to stay. There's the stopwatch on the boss, but he is just a sitting duck. No one there to help him. Just chilling, gonna go down as well. And Boise State going to pick up 4. We'll see if they can pick up Mistletoe, but there's a couple of towers in the way, so the Broncos gonna be forced to retreat.
All right, I may have missed the last game for the UCI here, and I'm not sure who the MVP went to. I know the first 3 games it was Aqua every time here. Oh my gosh, and Ascent picking that one up. I have no idea who the MVP for this game might be because everyone is playing so exceptionally well, and their decisions seem to be so erratic, but they're well communicated. But that erratic state leaves Illinois to try to anticipate what Boise State is doing instead of really playing their own game. And that means that they are so far behind in creep. They're so far behind right now in vision, as we can see across the board, and really just feeling in control of this game whatsoever, as the gold lead has severely gone in Boise State's favor.
And Dienhao using his stolen equalizer, didn't get a pill onto anyone. Sylvan gonna be just a matter of time before he comes out of that ice block. There was a cage waiting for him. There's the equalizer. Ascent says, let me show you how to place it down. Dienhao, he's gonna pick up a kill onto him, and Boise State should have a even faster game than last time. 24 minutes last time. Nice Zanya's there by Ascent. Might have been a stopwatch as well to dodge the Ash arrow. Tower gonna be assisting as well, as Ascent will go down. The boss going to spawn. Aqua just barely dies to the tower as well, but this should be more than enough for Boise State with that ace to pick up the victory here. They should be able to move to 2 and 4. They're just sitting there waiting for somebody to spawn and dive all the way onto the fountain. Laser gonna come out there, and actually Red Hots might not be able to finish off the inhibitor or the Nexus. He's gonna have to back. Boise State maybe having a little bit of fun with Illinois there. They're just going to allow the Illini to respawn, but the Broncos very far ahead as we see poor Red Hots trying to escape.
Absolutely could have finished the game there. Not sure if that's a little bit of BM. I mean, absolutely was a little bit of BM when you jump on the fountain to try to pick up one final kill to pad those stats. It does become a bit of that. Not going to be enough, unfortunately, I don't think at this point in the game for Illinois to really recover from such a huge gold disparity. We're currently looking at 13,000 in Boise State's favor at just barely now 22 minutes into the game here. And as mentioned multiple times, really full control here of Summoner's Rift in Boise State's hands, and definitely going in favor of the Broncos. Illinois has the opportunity to clean out a little bit of vision in their jungle and probably lay some of their own, but these are the things that Boise State tends to excel in these aggressions when Illinois is really unaware of the positioning of the Broncos. And there it is, an ultimate having to be used by Just Chillin' to stay alive.
Yeah, just chilling, got caught shopping there. Dienhau's going to teleport right into a Vygar cage. Just see what he can do. He is going to just immediately melt even with that stun. The Bosch and Mistletoe, the last two ones left alive. And Mistletoe, I don't know if that Tear of the Goddess is going to help you much at 22 minutes. That Fountain might be able to do something. There's the Glacial Prison. Going to help him pick up his first kill of the game, so nobody going to end without a kill. Boise State being good sports about that one. But now, there should be plenty of time for Boise State if they choose to finish off the Nexus. Right now, just trying to take down Mistletoe. Nice use of the Flame Spitter in the Zhonya's there for Ascent. An ace for Boise State is just chilled and respawns right into a cage. The Bear kept in control, and Boise State going to pick up a 23-minute victory over Illinois. The Broncos wrapping up the UCI Best Coast regular season with their second straight win, going to finish at 2-4. So good job to Boise State, and two quick games as well, 24 and 23-minute victories, Jolly. So Boise State really coming in on their own here in the last few weeks.
Just so rude, especially these last couple of games. We're going to take quick look at the Boise State broadcast schedule. These are the games that you guys can be looking forward to, and it's not just League of Legends going on. We got all kinds of fun things in the books for this month. This is all just across September. Occasionally there are some random events and things that pop in, so keep an eye on the website, the Twitter page, the Facebook page. All that good stuff keeps you informed on what Boise State is doing in terms of events that you can be watching here. And, you know, join us in all that fun.
Yeah, and it is always nice on that schedule to see the gridiron rivals. Of course, there's not going to be anything on the blue this year, unfortunately. But, hey, way to go for Boise State, the esports program, to extend that series, play who Boise State football would have been playing. And, hey, if Boise State wins, we just got to say, you got to take that L whenever we play that game on the blue. We already beat you guys. So it is cool to see the gridiron rivals series still going on, even if there is no football going on this year for Boise State, at least in the fall.
Yeah, that gives us a lot more opportunity for some of these exceptional games. And these are some of the most exciting ones, too, getting into these collegiate teams, because you have such a huge rotation of players. And so you can expect some of the teams to be a little bit under par towards the beginning of the seasons, but being able to see the growth and the communication, just the teamwork that merges between these players is very, very cool to watch. It gives a lot of opportunity for the players to grow as in a team-based game. That is what League of Legends is. A lot of these people have gone through just solo queuing their whole lives and now get to really experience what it's like to constantly be on a fives team. So it is very exciting to see potential progression, not just in our team, but in teams across the United States that Boise State will be going up against.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Jolly, we know Aqua had a nice run there. I believe Dean picked it up last week in Boise State's victory over Michigan State for the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Any predictions? Because this one's going to be tough because Boise State clicked on all cylinders.
Okay, I would just because the last game I would say Ascent because we got to see the Rumble. It was exceptional. Overall, though, I would probably give that Red Hots both games were pretty intense. He played pretty well, but I would probably say Ascent's going to get this one.
You know, I would have to say it's hard because I know there were some supports picked in there, so I'll pick the one guy who got to play damage 2 games in a row, and that was Goblin. Game 1, just a fantastic game. Game 2 took him a little bit longer to get going, but I really liked how it was. And there it is, Goblin, the Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. But as you mentioned, Jolly, anyone for Boise State could have picked it up. And sometimes it's just a matter of team comp. You have to play something like a Lulu or a Karma. You're not going to end with many kills. You still put in mad work, as you mentioned, Ascent doing that. So really a shout out to everyone for Boise State, but as you mentioned, as we talked about, Goblin, the player of the game, that Vygar, something to be feared, something teams got to think about. Usually you see him on an 80 carry popping off. Now they got to keep in the back of their mind, when is he going to pull out that Vygar in the bottom?
Having a good stack here with the cage. We can see how scary it is and continues to be as it works very, very well in 2 games. The first lock in there for the second game, acknowledging how well Goblin managed to run that bottom side, whether he was on his own or having the support. The first game, the majority of the time, the roam on the bottom lane. So a really solid job, again, from all of Boise State. And another thing, those Kindred ultimates were just immaculate so many times, barely getting the invulnerability right at the last little bit, allowing the rest of the team to engage. But Goblin, for sure, max damage in both of those games, providing exactly what the Broncos needed to take home their second win in the UCI Best Coast tournament. Very exciting to end that note on.
Yeah, and starting with the cage in that game one actually sort of enabled that absolute fiesta of a bunch of kills and let Boise State come out ahead. But as we said, Goblin is your Idaho Central Credit Union player of the game. Idaho Central Credit Union believes that a great team member brings a team success, just like they're helping their members achieve financial success. Goblin is Idaho Central Credit Union's player of the game. Boise State picking up 2 wins here over Illinois, winning the series 2-0, with finishing the UCI Best Coast regular season tournament at 2-4 and winning their 3rd straight overall League of Legends game on the broadcast. So really fantastic play here for Boise State. Like I said, this team is really starting to come into its own. So it's awesome to see this team come together.
It is very exciting to see this, especially also culminating towards the end with the start of that being 0-3 was really, really rough for Boise State, having ended last season on such a good note, and then to be able to come into this, ending the tournament on their 3rd for the week, the week and a half, they're 2nd in this tournament, and I mean, looking miles ahead of what we saw them at even just 2 weeks ago, the cohesion that this team has managed to find over the last couple of weeks of intense practice and working very, very closely with the coaches and with Doc here has clearly panned out. And this is more of the Boise State that we are used to seeing.
And well, you don't want to go anywhere. We are, of course, going to wrap our portion up here with Boise State's top 5 plays in those 2 victories over Illinois. But after that, you want to make sure you stay tuned because there is going to be an interview coming up. I did not quite catch who it's going to be. It's Baratel and one member of the Boise State team after their victory. So make sure you stay tuned for that after the top 5 plays from Boise State's victory over Illinois tonight. I'm not sure he's going to be able to make it away. He does not have enough mana to ult. He is going to just fall over. Boise State picking up another kill. The equalizer going to snipe out the Lysandra. The Onhow going to go down as well. And Boise State just popping off 3 kills there in the last 30 seconds across the map. Block out anything. The Bosch going to be stunned with the Stand United. And now a nice polymorph onto just chilling. And Boise State picking him off. There goes the healing. A double kill going to be landed to make that a triple kill for Goblin. And Boise State, just like that, answers right back. Nearly an ace as Misseltane has respawned. But Boise State picks up a 5-0 in the top lane. And they're loving how that fight went. Now Goblin flashed away, flash countered as well under the turret. We'll see if he's going to be able to reset with the Alpha Strike. He will. Another kill picked up the Onhow. And Boise State, unfortunately, going to get ace there. A triple kill. Make that a quadra kill onto the Mastery. Excellent use of the Alpha Strike to reset the turret aggro. And then he goes down. He wasn't paying attention and he went down. That's 9. Called there. Boise State smartly going to disengage. Now the Dragon being burned down, dropping below 2k health. Looks like Red Team's going to pick that one up, but Boise State wants to win the fight. Wild Growth going to land, and Aqua going to have free reign thanks to Goblin as well. 2 kills on to Goblin. Dean going to pick up another one, and Boise State, they'll go up a Dragon. That's their 2nd straight ace on to Illinois.
Had the upper hand the entire game in front of the Dragon Pit. Likely an engage will fall that crystalline arrow.
Goblin's going to pick up the first kill onto Misseltane. The Dragon dropping very low. It has been Kindred also, so it could not die. Now it's up for grabs. Boise State going to try and prevent the soul point, but they also want to get some kills. Dragon going to go over to Boise State, and that's a quadra kill for a set. Right as the chat said, the Boise State Rebel player is Pog Champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sticking around after the broadcast for this crucial interview. It again is me, Jared Baratel, joined by none other than Goblin and Aqua. Gentlemen, holy cow. What a game. What a series of games. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. I mean, we got to play like new stuff today. They're trying to hit us with the glacial comp in game 2.
The glacial comp came out, I think, much to the favor of a lot of the fans here in chat. Boys, gentlemen, scholars, holy cow. I got to ask, first and foremost, the biggest question I think can come to mind, was the Boise band better or the BSU XD band better?
BSU XD for sure.
I'm always a fan of the memes, so yeah, BSU XD all the way.
Fair enough. I do like seeing Dr. Mundo showing his wonderful face that only a mother could love up there. So that was pretty awesome. And during the broadcast as well, me, Fish, and Jolly were talking about missing out on that kind of Boise State Bronco comp that everyone goes and presses R in one central location comp, and then you guys pull out this crazy new thing. Has this been something you guys have been working on? Has this been like in the schematics for a while, or is it just something you guys decided to pull together today?
I
think it's something
we've been like looking into it for sure. Like we're just trying to find our style, and right now it's like a big like combination of how do we get Dean and Aqua on the map, and I mean, right, we're kind of finding our groove near the end of the tournament here.
Yeah, and this question is for you, Goblin. You really have seemed to find a really fast kinship with Vigar, and I'm not sure what correlation you have with that, but the way that you play that champ, you were able to like 1v3 there in the top lane game 2, and then you were able to 1v1 a Draven there in the bottom lane. Like, what is that? Is that something that you personally have had a favoritism towards, or just something again you guys have been working on lately?
I mean, shout outs to Consensual Clown on Duo King 1. He's, I'm like a disciple of his now. Yeah, I mean, Vigar is like just really punishing on their mistakes. They walk into the wall once and I'm just one-shotting them. It's like the freest elo I've ever gotten. But that's like, I mean, they don't have flash, they don't have cleanse. Like there's not a whole lot they can do when they're put in the baby cage.
Fair enough. And Aqua, this one is for you specifically. Of course, these are going to be some replays from the game. You guys were there for that. I do want to ask for the future. I mean, I don't know if we'll see this anytime soon, but Aqua, do you think you're going to be a Samira main there in the jungle with that style gauge?
Yeah, so for sure, like, I'm like my playstyle is really like cheese, to be honest, and I like to pull off a lot of junglers that people don't see. So like getting in a Twitch game, getting in a VOD game, COD game, or whatever it is, like what I like to play. Like, I obviously could win matchups just playing like Nidalee and stuff, but that's really boring. And I think like a lot of the collegiate junglers are just like pretty subpar, minus like Short Race and I can't remember the other couple of junglers, but there are some good junglers for sure. But like most of the junglers that I'll verse, I'll just be like better than them. I can just play things like Twitch, to be honest, just pop off. So I'm really excited to like showcase what junglers I have. Yeah, and kind of just.
This is you and Goblin kind of in tandem popping off. We were questioning having only 2 sources of damage here for this game 1, but you two in tandem stepped up in a way that I really don't think not only we were anticipating, but Ilnai either. Look at this! Look at this 1v1 real quick. This Draven's like, I got this. Everything's fine, and then the sidestep flash, like. What is that? That's just mind reading. You were in that man's head rent free.
Yeah, I was doing the calculations.
You're doing the math there, and when it comes down to it, you guys did some pretty dangerous and dirty things to this team. I got to ask though, how are your guys' backs feeling? Are y'all wearing some braces for the next couple days?
A little sore. I got an ice pack in the freezer right now that I'm going down.
There you go. Awesome. One last question here for me, and we'll turn it to Twitch chat here as well. I know that the beginning of this tournament, the UCI Best Coast Invitational, had a little bit of a rough start, and as you were saying, Goblin, you guys have been working on trying to kind of hone your edge and figure out what was going to work for you. With the past like 2 weeks or 14 days in consideration, it really does feel that you guys are on the track to identifying yourself as a team. And Goblin, you can answer this first. What were the steps that you guys felt like you needed to overcome? What were the priorities in order for you guys to really put that team together, that style together?
I mean, compared to like previous semesters, like this kind of tournament's a really big increase in quality of like teams we're facing. And actually, our first match was the first time we got together to play like competitively. So for us, like it was kind of finding our groove, which like that kind of shows in our record. So it's like really just kind of getting enough time in the 2 weeks or the 3 and 2 weeks leading up to this are kind of like in preparation to like figure out what we're doing. And like now, we're looking at Vigar, we're still looking at carry junglers, like Aqua's really stepping up, but like we got to like find that groove to really get everyone on the same page.
And then for you, Aqua, when it comes to you specifically. I know that you're trying to, you're coming into this team, you're brand new. Of course, Goblin's been here for a little bit of time, so he kind of knows what to expect. Is this? Yeah, he's been here the whole time since the origins days. He's an OG, if you will. How is it for you fitting into this team and kind of, looking forward to be part of something as grandiose as it is to be part of the Boise State esports program?
So first off, I just want to say thank you to Haskell and Koba and the other staff to just for accepting me and just giving me the opportunity. And the players have been great. We've been doing a lot of scrims and VOD reviews, and it comes down to just people improving. And I think getting Dean off of Soraka was probably one of the best decisions that we've ever made. So that's probably what's the biggest turning point for us.
Yeah, I don't know what is it gonna take for us to see him on Sona? Is it gonna be like a donation in the Twitch chat or a sub or a series of subs?
No, it's gonna be Twitch.
We need some bits up in here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, send us.
I'm sure
that are too long.
It's okay. You guys have plenty of time. Fantastic job you guys doing today for that W. Thank you so much for joining me here at this interview. Hope to see you guys again in the future, tearing it up there on the Rift. Ladies and gentlemen in the audience, thank you so much for joining us here at the Boise State Esports broadcast. We really love having you here as well in the chat, and hope to see you guys next time. Production team, phenomenal job making me look good. I know I got the lights in the background, but they're only to distract you from this going on right here. So I do appreciate everyone is involved, and y'all have a fantastic rest of your night. Red Hot's in the background. Everyone have a good night and get hydrated.